greeting the sun and the moon. So this is going to be a twist to the side with an inhale. And then when you're there, you hold, inhale a second time, trying to increase your twist. And then you exhale, coming back to center. Inhaling off to the other side, holding and inhaling again, exhaling back through. So maybe find your first point of resistance, and then again, press a little bit more. Looking back as far as you can. Hopefully you find them getting easier and easier along the way. I tend to keep my thumb knuckles close to my sternum to help press the pecs around in the twist. Trying to keep the shoulders back, pressing and twisting to help usher the front body around to come up out of the core. You might like to try it switching your legs. It's always a good practice to go through. Your hips shift, low back shifts, the twist through the obliques becomes different. Wrapping and twisting. So this is a little bit like saluting the sun and moon twist, sun and moon twist. Okay. Wrapping and twisting. So a lot like the sun and moon twist, we're going to inhale to the side twice, both sides, exhaling back to the center. So wrapping the arms, we're going to inhale to the side one time, and then inhaling a second time, reaching up a little bit further, exhaling, bringing it back to center. And then again, you go to the other side, inhaling, and then to further it, you reach a little bit further, and then bring it back. So, inhaling in. So cleansing breaths in the middle. You can rewrap your arms the other way, and you can also rewrap your legs the other way and try to do that same breath with the twists. Again, it shifts the hips, rotates some, and then the obliques, you'll feel some different restrictions when you make those adjustments. So it's good to try them both. Forearm stretches. So we're going to take the fingertips up and back, reaching for the whole of the palm to the wrist, straight arms. We inhale, pull back at the flat of that palm, pressing back into the shoulders. So, and then you exhale to release. So inhale. Tension, straightening the spine, exhale, soften, shake it out a little bit, and repeat it a few times. If you're allowing your shoulders to press back, you should feel some stretch somewhere behind the shoulders, shoulder blades, near the spine. Movement. There should be movement here. So, repeat that on the other side. Fingertips up. Come around the top. You're going to experiment with taking that a little bit to the side as well and pressing back. Just finding slight different fibers of stretch there. Shaking it up. Now, that same stretch can be repeated with hands down, pressing back as well. Same breath, inhaling, then exhale. But that being said, you can also turn that hand up, stretch that way, as well as these fingertips were up, so we can also take them down and stretch back. So there's 4 different ways to stretch the hand there within that one forearm stretch. So take your time with it, do a few with each one. Just balancing out my other side. Balancing out my other side. Forearm stretches. I have another series. Very simple. Palms together and pressing down. Inhaling, straightening out the spine. You can keep the fingertips close. Exhale, soften. Repeat that a few times. And try to rotate the fingertips in, because then you'll get more stretch through the pronator. So that way, and then palms still together, placing them facing downwards, a little bit more awkward. With that, inhaling and pressing up as much as possible. Trying to stay close, trying to rotate those fingers in, softening, trying again. Straightening the spine, looking up. That one can be done with the top sides of the hands together. And with the fingertips up. Take care with the top sides of the hands. It pulls a lot through the top sides. of the wrist and lower forearm. Make sure to shake that out before you get moving again. So take whatever comfortable seated position you can find. And we're going to do some simple arm stretches. Just straight across the body. Straight arm. And coming up into our elbow, locking into the upper arm. Coming across, and when we do that, we're going to inhale into the shoulders, straightening the spine and lifting up. And exhale, soften. And when we do that, we kind of give ourselves, when we inhale, a little pressure back into the shoulder. You can let the hand be relaxed. It's more about that upper arm shoulder stretch. So make sure to get the other side. And you'll notice if you take it low, middle, or up a little bit higher, you're going to get varying levels of the deltoid fibers. So maybe with every breath, you can go ahead and try a different area. On this side, I place my hand a little bit more on the triceps, which if you do, you can give yourself a little bit more pressure into the triceps, actually palming it and kind of softening up the triceps a little bit more as you do that, which is kind of necessary. So, one stretch. Two stretch is behind the back. So taking them behind the back and trying to lock onto one or the other elbows. And with your inhale, you straighten the spine, dragging that arm across as far as you can. You really want to keep the chest open as you do that. You'll notice it's not a big movement, but it is necessary. So stretch number 2. All right, other side. So catching hold of that other arm, elbow. If you get a nice hold around the arm, it can actually feel like more of a massage, pulling your arm across in that stretch. That feels good. And that being said, depending on how you have your arm rotated, you could be holding more on to the edge of the bicep, or you could be wrapped around to the tricep. So watch the rotation of your arm when you do that. It matters and you can feel it. So you can progressively turn the arm a little bit more when you're in there. So last stretch, triceps up overhead, bringing it around, simple to the elbow. Bring the shoulders down away from the ears, settling in. Hopefully you notice a little stretch right behind the shoulder. And then with that, inhaling, straightening the spine, connecting through. Exhale, soften. And shake out the shoulders a little bit. So a little pressure when you go in there, inhaling in. Doesn't need to be a big movement, just concentrated. Other arm. So again, bend. I kind of settle into that elbow, bring the shoulders down. And then inhale. Exhale, soften. So again, holding that elbow, giving it pressure into the body, straightening the spine. With a nice cleansing breath. Shaking the shoulders.